Good morning, boys and girls. So today I have a very nice story to tell you. But before I begin, I'm going to need you to do two things for me, okay? Just two things. I'm going to need you to sit down. Are you sitting down? Thank you. Then I'm going to need you to listen very carefully. Can you listen? Let's do this. Are we going to listen? Yes, we are. And here goes, okay? Why do I always have to do all the work? Mark grumbled and complained. Mark, clean your room. Mark, go and get the mail. Mark, fold the towels. That's all I ever hear. I never get to have any fun. I never get to do the things I want to do. Mark picked up a few of his little toys and he shoved them in his pocket. While he was finishing up his chores, he had come up with a plan. He was ready for great adventure. He crept under the corner into the kitchen and sneaked quietly out of the back door, thinking no one would ever know he was gone. He wandered along the dirt on the road and finally came to a little grassy clearing near the river. This was one of his favorite secret places. Ah, this is just great. No one can find me here and I can do whatever I want, he thought to himself. And so he played. He watched some ants crawl over, and then he tried to block their path. After tiring of that game, he pulled his yo-yo out of his pocket, and then he played, and it really felt nice. He was finally free. Then he leaned back against a large stone, and he started to sleep. Then he usually enjoyed looking at the clouds with his sister Jill. They liked to see the funny shapes in the clouds. Hey, that one looks like an elephant, sometimes they would say. That one looks like a lion. Sometimes they'd see all manner of shapes while staring at the clouds. But it wasn't nearly as much fun without his sister today. It was quiet, and he had no one to share the excitement with. Mark found himself getting tired, and it seemed to be getting darker. As it got darker, he decided to lie down on the grass. It was really nice at first, and then it started to get really uncomfortable. He missed his warm blanket and his warm bed at home. No matter how he turned, the ground was very hard, and he did not have a pillow or a blanket. Mark started to become very sad. Then he had his stomach growling. And he thought, I'm getting really hungry. And he had no food. The woods started to become dark. And he started to get scared. He began to hear sounds. And he really wanted to be home. Then he started to get really hungry. And then he heard a strange sound. And he thought to himself, what was that? What was that? And then he became really, really scared. I'll just go back home. I'll go through the back door just like I left, and no one will know I'm back. I'll have some nice food, and then no one will know I had gone anywhere. He became really afraid, and he began to walk home slowly. He'd never realized how scary it could be at night when he was alone. His family had often walked together, but never had he been out alone. It hadn't seemed so scary then. He knew he only had a few more steps to go, but he kept thinking to himself, will I ever get home? Will I ever have warm food again? And the more he thought, the more he walked faster. I wonder if they missed me. To his relief, when he got nearer, he heard a voice scream, there he is! There he is! And suddenly he noticed it was Jill, his sister. And she ran towards him and she said, Mom, I found him. And everyone ran out to get him. His mother hugged him and said, don't do that again. We were really scared. Are you okay? Are you hungry? And he thought to himself, no one is mad at me. He was really happy to be home. They took him inside the house, They gave him warm food, and when he lay down to sleep, his mattress was really warm and his blanket was as fluffy as he remembered. The story about Mark reminds me about another story in the Bible, and I want you guys to help me tell the story. Are you still seated? Yay! Are you still listening? Yes, you guys are amazing. So help me tell this story. There was a family that had 2 boys in the Bible. How many boys? 2. Very good. One day, the younger child, okay? Remember it had how many boys? 2 of them. The younger one came to the father and said, I know you have a lot of money that you have put aside for us. I want all my money. And the father said, huh? And you know what he said? Now. Can you guys say that with me? Now. And the father told him, okay. And so the father woke up in the morning and gave him all his money. And the son thought, I'm going to have a lot of fun. Can you guys say that with me? I'm going to have a lot of fun. And so he went out and he bought clothes and he bought things and then he bought candy and he had a lot of fun. And he said, I'm never going back home. But then he wanted to buy something. And so on one of the days, he saw some really nice things and he was walking by to go and get them. And he said, give me 2. And he reached into his pocket and there was no money. And he reached into his other pocket. There was no money. And he checked in his bag. There was no money. Can you guys say that with me? There was no money. And he got really scared. And then he looked around him and he said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he got really scared. But then he saw a farm where they were taking care of pigs. And so he went to the farm. He said, can I please work for you? And the man at the farm said, okay. And he was very sad. And he thought, what am I going to do? Then he thought like Mark. Do you remember Mark? He thought, I'm going to go back home. And I'm going to tell my dad I'm really, really sorry. But he said, will my dad forgive me? Then he said, let me try. So he walked. Can you guys walk? Okay, you're free to get up from your seats now. Let's go home. And so he walked. And he walked and he got tired. Can you guys get tired? He got tired. He said, are we there yet? And he walked some more. Can you guys walk with me? He walked, and then he saw his home. And he stood outside. And he said, what am I going to tell my dad? And the dad saw him from a distance and he said, oh my goodness, it's my son. He's back. And he began to run towards him. Can you guys stand up? Okay, let's run. He began to run and run and run. And when he got to his son, do you know what he did? He hugged him. Can you guys hug? He hugged him and he said, welcome home. And the son said, Dad, I'm really, really sorry. I took your money and I bought candy and I had fun and it's over. I'm really sorry. The dad said, you know what? I forgive you. In fact, let's have a party now that you're home. And they held a big party and the father forgave him. Have you ever told your mommy to forgive you? Have you ever told your brother or your sister to forgive you? Because sometimes you do things to hurt people, okay? You say things that hurt people. Sometimes we lie. When mommy asks if you broke the glass, you say no. When mommy says who did that, you say, I don't know. And God wants us to learn, like we learned last week, to tell the truth. And when we make a mistake, to learn to say we are sorry. Mark came back home and said he was sorry, and his sister hugged him and welcomed him home. When this boy had gone and used all his father's money, he came back and he said, I'm sorry. His father hugged him. When we go to God and we say, Lord, I am sorry for lying. I am sorry for not telling the truth. I am sorry for all the things that you have done wrong. God says, I forgive you. Because God forgives us when we do wrong. Can we say that together? God forgives us when we do wrong. One more time. God forgives us when we do wrong. Can I teach you a really simple song as we finish? Say with me, God forgives us when we do wrong. Very good. So, let's forgive each other. Can you guys say that? So, let's forgive each other. Very simple. So this is what you say. God forgives us when we do wrong. Very good. Can we try that again? God forgives us when we do wrong. Very good. Then you say, oh, oh. Very good. So this is what you're saying. God forgives us when we do wrong. Oh, oh. Very good. And then you say, so let's forgive each other. Can you guys try? So let's forgive each other. So this is how it goes. God forgives us when we do wrong. Oh, oh. So let's forgive each other. God forgives us when we do wrong. Oh, oh. So let's forgive each other too. Our memory verse today is very simple. It's from the book of 1 John. Say that with me. 1 John chapter 3 verse 1. Chapter 3 verse 1. And it says, the Father has loved us so much. He has loved us so much that we are called the children of God. Can we say that together? The Father loves us so much. He loves us so much that we are called the children of God. You and I are called the children of God. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.